What's up? So earlier today, ONE FC announced that they're starting this new weight cutting process, where basically, back like I think within the last month or so, they had a fighter that died making weight. Super sad. No one wants to see it happen. So ONE FC wants to ensure that it doesn't happen again. So they have this grand idea. They're gonna stop weight cutting. It's gonna go away. They're not gonna allow it anymore. So fighters are gonna have to. So I'll use numbers for my weight class. So I fight at 155. So 7 weeks out, you have to be within 6% of your weight class. So for me, that's 164.5 pounds. At 6 weeks out, I have to be 162 pounds, which is 4.5% over my weight class. 5 weeks out, I have to be 160, which is 3% over my weight class. 4 weeks out, I have to be 157, which is 1.5% over. 3 weeks out, I have to be on weight. For me, it'd be 156. I am 156 for a few hours, 2 or 3 times a year, and that's about it. I usually walk about 170 pounds or so I'm like 15 pounds over, which is already way over even 7 weeks out. So these are the weights that we're supposed to be, that ONE FC fighters are supposed to be, and they're checked when they fly in for the promotion the week of the fight. They are checked the day after they arrive, and then they're checked 3 hours prior to the actual fight. So this is really, really good if you think that, this is going to clean up weight cutting. But in actuality, it's very, very bad because they think that they're gonna hold other fighters to a higher standard, and they're gonna check the urine and hydration and all this other stuff. But if they do that, they're gonna lose half their card every single time, because what's gonna happen is guys are gonna be overweight. They're gonna have to get within the weight class. They can do whatever they can, and they're gonna hit those weight targets, but the hydration's gonna be off, right? So they're gonna lose all kinds of fights by doing this. I don't think it's gonna last. But going beyond that, even if they could, even if everyone stuck to it, everything went well, who's gonna do these checks? It can't be the promotion, because they can't be held accountable. I mean, if they have a championship fight, a big fight, it's supposed to happen, and one of their fighters is over by half of a pound, they're gonna wave the fight off? No, it's gonna be brushed under the rug. It's not gonna be a big deal. So it can't be the promotion, because like I said, they would lose a big fight, they lose a championship fight, and they're not going to lose tons and tons of money because someone's half a pound over. Okay, so it's got to be some kind of outside source. So you could say, okay, they're going to go to the doctors, they're going to go to someplace, but it's not going to be reputable. It doesn't matter. It has to be some kind of global organization. They have to be super strict on stuff, like how they weighing in. Are they weighing in, with nothing on? Are they weighing in at the first thing when they wake up? Are they weighing in later in the day? Are they weighing in after a workout? Is their hydration being checked at all these different weigh-ins? So unless everything is done super strict, unless like we were basically on lockdown and they were going to check it, then it wouldn't work. It would not be, because you can't have rules if they're not going to be enforced, and you can't expect some people to do things. You're making it very unfair, because some fighters are going to do all the right things, then other fighters are not gonna. That's why when we have weigh-ins, it's always done by the Athletic Commission. But ONE FC is a global organization. I think the fighters are in, I don't know if it's Korea, but somewhere over in Asia. And, what about guys from the United States? Are they going to be expected to fly to Asia to do a weight check and then come back? That's not realistic. You can't send them, places and have the weight check, because it's not going to be strict enough. And that's for every single country. It's not like you just find a company, an organization in the United States that do this. It doesn't work. It's just it's going to make it incredibly unfair across the board, because some fighters are going to do the right thing and other fighters are not. So now you're making a safety issue. The allowable overage. Okay, so let's say that I'm supposed to be 160 pounds, but I'm 160 and a half. Okay, well that's okay, because I'm allowed. You're basically allowed to be off by 0.5%, which for a 55er is 3/4 of a pound. So if I'm 160 and a half when I'm supposed to be 160, I'm okay. Now if I'm 161, I'm out. Fight's off, right? I mean, because I missed a deadline. So how does that all work? And when is the weigh-in done? Because when I wake up, I'm typically 168 pounds, but if you check me later in the day, I might be 174. So now that's a 6-pound swing for me from when I first wake up, and I check my weight because I do it every single day pretty much. I check my weight when I first wake up, and then by the time I go to bed, I've eaten, I've trained, I've drank a lot. I'm probably 5-6 pounds heavier. That's huge when they're giving you 3/4 of a pound. So now if I'm if I have to be 160 when I'm subject to random checks, they can just show up and check my weight. I have to be sure that I have to be there. I can't wake up at 160. I have to wake up at 154 and to have that 6 pounds. So it's just it doesn't really work. I don't understand why. I do understand why they want to do it, but it sounds like it was done by people that don't understand training, that don't understand fighting, don't understand how weights are made. In a championship fight, you're not given that 1 pound allowance. So for that one weigh-in, that one time, that 1 pound is a big freaking deal. It's a huge deal. But now they're gonna say, oh, you have to be on weight basically 8 weeks out, and you have all these different you have this regimen. If you have to hit all these target goals, and if you're relying on fighters to just they're saying they're gonna rely on fighters to just put their weights in online, every single day, and they don't have to all be done every single day, but once a week they have to put in what their wake up weight was or whatever their weight was every single week. You're telling me I'm not just gonna say 160, 160, 160, 160. It has nothing to do. I could have been 68, 70. Wouldn't matter. If it comes down to my fight being on versus off, fighters are gonna put in whatever they have to do. So I don't understand how it's gonna practically work. I just don't think it's very realistic. I had a bunch of people ask me. That's why I made this video. A bunch of people asked me, and unrealistic was the best way I could say it. It's unrealistic. You shouldn't have rules unless you can enforce them, and there's no way that they can enforce them. It's not practical. It's not going to work. They challenged the UFC and a couple other promotions to adopt these rules, and it's not going to work. The UFC's made huge strides, with USADA, with all the drug testing and everything like that, and there's still difficulties there. They're doing a great job, but there's all kinds of little angles that people are going to take, and repercussions, and what happens if you break this rule and this happens, and blah blah blah. And there's this whole procedure and process. And ONE FC's nope, no more weight cutting. It's over. Unrealistic.